Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about Ethereum because there are some technical indicators and short formations on Ethereum right now that are telling me that we might be about to see a bit of a correction. So is the Ethereum rally that's been going on ever since late September about to come to an end? Are we going to see a drop? And if so, how far may we go before we finally see a movement really far and fast to the upside? We're going to talk about all of that and more in today's video, so without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Guys, as you know, Ethereum is in a massive ascending triangle pattern, and I want to be very clear right off the bat. I am bullish on Ethereum, and I do think it's going to have a very powerful movement to the upside for the remainder of this year, so don't think I'm trying to spread FUD, but it is my job to inform you on both sides, both the bullish and the bearish. So let's take a look here at the daily chart. The first thing that you'll see is that Ethereum right now is in a rising wedge. What does this mean? Well, basically, it means that Ethereum is moving to the upside, but it's moving to the upside in a pattern that typically breaks to the downside. Whenever you see a rising wedge, which is constituted by an ascending level of resistance and an ascending level of support like this, whenever the market moves into this, statistically speaking, there's a 70% chance that the market is going to break down out of that, as opposed to a 70% chance of breaking bullish out of a descending wedge. In this case, there is a high likelihood that we should be breaking bearish out of this pattern. And if we were to do that, just looking down here on the 4-hourly chart, then we would likely see Ethereum pull back down to a couple different levels. Number one, the first one and most obvious one, is the previous level of support. That is the level holding up the Ethereum market, and that is right around $4,400. $4,400 is basically the all-time high that we set back here in May of 2021, and that represents the highest level that we reached at that time. It's a very important level because of that reason, and if we do have a correction out of this trend, out of this ascending wedge, then that's probably where we're going to fall down to. But looking back out to the daily chart, we can look at an indicator that I like to use called the VPVR. It is the volume profile of the visible range, and basically these bars over here show us, all right, where is the support and resistance for this market? As you can see, there is something called a VPVR maximum right here, which represents that there's a lot of support down here at $1,800. It's unlikely we're going to go to $1,800, so that's not that important, but what is important is this little hump right here on VPVR. It shows that we have support right between about $3,800, moving all the way up to $4,400. So the good news is here, guys, we have a lot of support in the zone between $3,800 and $4,400. On top of that, we also have strong support sitting here at $4,000, as that is a local top that we set here on the 4th of September, and it is also a big even, meaning that it's essentially a level of support that is a nice whole even number. People like to buy and sell around big whole even numbers like 4,000. People don't like putting trades, or they just don't tend to put trades at $3,947.15. You know, they put it at $4,000 just because that's how human psychology works. So if Ethereum does need to break to the downside here, we could see corrections all the way down to 3,800, but I don't think that we're going to go that deep. I do personally believe that Ethereum is going to have a correction out of this rising wedge, but it's probably not going to be that severe. In fact, we might only pull back down to about $4,400, and we're sitting at $4,500 right now, so that would not be that massive. But there's a few different reasons why I believe that that might occur. Looking at the 4-hourly chart here, we can see if we look at our RSI, that there is something called RSI divergence. RSI is an oscillator. Oscillator just means that it sits down here at the bottom of your chart. This oscillator basically tells us how strong are the bulls or the bears. The bulls, the people buying the market, are represented by the RSI being up here at the top, and the bears, the people selling the market, are represented by the RSI being down here at the bottom. If we look at the RSI and we draw trend lines, which are what these lines are, connecting tops on the 4-hourly chart right here and the 4-hourly chart RSI right here, we can see something that is very important called RSI divergence. There's an uptrending level of resistance on the price action chart, and then there's a downtrending level of resistance here on the RSI. When those two are divergent, meaning that they're moving in two separate directions, it essentially gives us a sell signal. It's essentially telling us, hey, the market is likely to have a correction here. So we have multiple different chart formations right now telling us, hey, Ethereum's a little bit overextended. It's had a good run, but we need to calm down. And here's my final reason why I believe that we're going to see some at least consolidation movement, which means sideways movement, rather than just another blast off for Ethereum. Ethereum has rallied, if we measure here, $1,800, which is 68% in the span of 36 days. we have added a couple $100 billion in market capitalization to Ethereum. You can see Ethereum's market cap is sitting at over $500 billion right now. That's the total value of the Ethereum market. We've added some $200 billion in just over a month. And by doing so, Ethereum has kind of gobbled up a lot of the buying pressure that was originally going to help prop it up. I think Ethereum is going to have a hard time continuing this rally, especially as other projects like Solana start to go on absolute tears and break their all-time highs. I think that Ethereum is going to have a slightly bearish weekend. I think it could see a correction for 3 to 7 days, and then after it sees that correction for between 3 and 7 days, it will eventually start to round out in the bottom somewhere around $4,000 to maybe $4,200, and then it's going to have a very bullish rest of November. It might even end up looking something like what we saw on Bitcoin, where Bitcoin had a big breakout, rallied above its previous all-time high, then it kind of has been in this kind of rounding bottom formation over the last 14 days. I think we're about to see something similar happen on Ethereum. So if you guys have a similar take, or especially if you have a different take on where you think Ethereum is going next, please tell me in the comment section down below. I love reading your comments. If you think Ethereum is about to moonshot, let me know. If you think Ethereum is going to do what I think it's going to do and have a short-term correction for 3 to 7 days, followed by a rounding bottom, followed by a big break to the upside, moving on towards the end of November, tell me that down below. And also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button. We've been getting a couple thousand likes on these videos lately. I really appreciate it. Let's see if we can get to 2,000 likes on this video. It helps to promote us in the YouTube algorithm if you think more people would get value out of this content. Also, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We've got something special planning. Right now, we're planning something special for 200K subs. Hopefully, that'll all come to fruition. Cannot wait for it. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. And also, make sure to follow us on Twitter for all of our latest updates at CryptoJeb. You can find all of our social media links down below. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Continue reaching for financial freedom. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.